For incoming freshmen, I would suggest that they, as hard as it might sound, try to separate yourself from your ego or any fear of looking silly or incompetent, and just put yourself out there, try new things. As scary as it might be, you won't regret it in the end. I know that from trying new things and putting myself out there and getting involved all over campus, I've met a lot of close friends and professors and staff members across campus and administrators that I look up to, I go to for advice. And all in all, I've just formed a lot of relationships by doing so, relationships that I will have for the rest of my life. So what I want to do in the future is I want to become a lawyer and practice criminal justice, thus why I'm a justice student. But I chose political science and theater because both are also closely connected to criminal justice, even if the connections might not be all that obvious. For instance, there's a lot of politics involved in justice, and I'm also very involved in politics. I might want to go into politics and become a senator or serve in some other position in the future, in the distant future, beyond a career in law. And theater is closely tied to it because public speaking and teamwork and thinking on your feet and being persuasive in your speech. All in all, there's just a lot of skills in performing arts that can help someone become an even better lawyer in the classroom. And also, it's a lot of fun. It's a great way for me to release stress, and it's just a wonderful creative outlet that I would suggest to anyone. Of course. So as of right now, my plan following graduation here in a couple days, I will be coming back in the fall to wrap up a couple of classes that I need to finish here. And then I will have a free semester to just work and mentally reset before continuing on to law school the next fall. I'm not 100% sure where I will be going as of yet. I'm interested in Washington as well as different areas on the East Coast for law school. And following law school, I want to become a lawyer and practice criminal justice. That's a very hard question because I love all of my professors so much, and I'm not just saying that, I genuinely do. When it comes to the faculty in the Justice Department, I have fond memories of coming up to the Justice Department and just saying hello to one professor, and then all of them coming out all at once to come and talk. And I remember them saying, "Oh, we know that voice. We recognize that voice. We wanted to say hi." And it made me feel really good and valued and respected in the department. And they never failed to lift me up and inspire me. But if I were to pick one specific faculty member that I think has gone above and beyond in terms of support and knowledge, just always having my back, I would say Professor Bolt in the Justice Department. He was my honors capstone advisor for this year, and my honors capstone project was about implementing a pre-law track within the honors college so that any honors student who's interested in going on to law school, if they want to, they can take on the pre-law track and take courses relevant to law school or the process of preparing for law school in order to satisfy their honors requirements. So that was my honors capstone, and Professor Bolt worked closely with me on that this entire school year, and I'm really excited to see it come to fruition. But I couldn't have done it without his advice. For starters, two of the most significant scholarships that I've received that have helped me a lot have been the statewide scholarships, so the Alaska Performance Scholarship and the UA Scholar Award. I received both of those, and those were ultimately the reason I decided to stay in state for school. I originally was supposed to go to Honolulu for college. I had been accepted and everything, and I was gonna go, but my housing fell through, and I decided to come to UAF at the last minute, and ultimately it was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. not only because I could utilize those scholarships and relieve myself of a significant financial burden, but because UAF is just unmatched in every way, shape, and form, even if it's extremely cold. But as for other scholarships, I have gotten some other small ones from independent donors. I've gotten justice-specific ones as well as political science-specific ones and a theater-specific one. And those have really changed my life. Because of those scholarships, I've been able to be involved in extracurriculars. I can make my college experience go beyond the classroom and be involved in these activities that are going to help me in my future career and in my own personal development just as much as what I'm learning in the classroom. So because of these scholarships, I don't have to worry about money 24/7. I can dedicate my time and energy to other things. I have a couple, but if I were to say the one that I'm the most proud of, it would probably be my junior year, my second year as ASUAF president. We all went down as a group and met with other student government members from other universities across the state for a lobbying trip. And we all got together and advocated for student scholarships because, as you recall, those scholarships were on the table for being taken out of the fund and implemented and used in other areas. All in all, the governor was thinking of taking away the security of student scholarships, and we wanted to go down there and put a stop to that. And I recall a specific meeting with a legislator who just wasn't really a staunch supporter of the UA system like just about every other legislator was. He was really fighting me on it and saying that he didn't think the university needed any more money. And I remember telling him, well, you realize the students that graduate from these schools are going to go on and be Alaska's leaders. They're going to be the people who stick around and make our state great and keep going in the future, and we need that. And he kind of stopped for a second and was like, I never thought of that. So, but all in all, the legislation was passed, the scholarships were safe, and I felt really good about that because that's always something I've wanted to make a point of doing, is advocating for people who couldn't really do it for themselves. One of the biggest challenges that I've faced in my time at UAF would probably be mental health wise. Probably mental health, because I do tend to take on a little bit too much at times, and I push myself beyond my limits, and it gets to a point, because everyone has their limits. I have my limits, and there were a couple of points in time where I was definitely trying to do too much all at once, and it did get to me. But because I have a strong support system, both within the school context and within my personal life, I was able to get through it and came out stronger than before. Something interesting about me that a lot of people probably don't know is that I've actually written a Facebook post for Lisa Murkowski before. That she posted on her Facebook. A couple of summers ago, right after high school graduation, I participated in the recent high school grad internship program with Lisa Murkowski in Washington, D.C. And we interns had a bunch of fun little tasks around the office, and my task was to write a Facebook post for her Facebook page about the cartoon Molly of Denali. So I did, and they posted it on her Facebook. Being community minded and being devoted to something that's bigger than just yourself. Of course, in college, it's important to focus on yourself and your own well-being, and do what you need to do to finish your degree and your education, because ultimately that's why we're all here. But at the same time, I think when people can go beyond just focusing on themselves and focusing on the well-being of their community and their peers, that's when a community can really thrive. And that's what I've been trying to do throughout my college career. That's why I've been involved in things like student government and theaters, because they help other people and make communities stronger different ways, but ultimately they both do that. And I think that I've stood out because of my devotion to public service and my peers and my passion for my education. I would say that everything always works out in the end. If you want it to and you're willing to make it happen, everything will work out for you. I'm an extreme perfectionist. I'm a worrier, and I still am trying to be better. But something I've definitely learned, especially in my later college years, is that everything works out for the best. If you ever feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, the only way is up. And I think that learning that will really help me in the future when times get tough.